Thanks so much for joining us here at noon. I'm Brooke Hash. 2 of the 3 suspects in the Crystal Rogers case are expected in a Nelson County courtroom this afternoon. It's Steve Lawson's first hearing with the new attorney after firing his previous attorney earlier this month. Now, Lawson had accused Ted Lavitt of working against him during his last court hearing on August 8th. The prosecutor in that case even echoed those concerns, saying her team had noticed some problematic practices in how motions were being written. The judge asked for a public defender to be ready and represent Lawson for today's hearing. His son Joseph, another suspect in this case, is also due in court. The hearing for both men starts at 1:30. Our Shay McAllister is headed to Nelson County as we speak. You can see her full reports from the courtroom beginning at 4 o'clock today. Nearly 40 people from Kentucky and California have been indicted in a federal drug trafficking investigation, and 17 of them are from Louisville. According to the Department of Justice, they were charged with meth, fentanyl, and cocaine trafficking, along with firearms offenses, after investigators uncovered a drug pipeline from California to Kentucky. Officials said it happened between March 2023 and August of this year. Most of the defendants face a minimum sentence of 10 years in prison. New documents are revealing what was found inside a New Albany funeral home currently under investigation by the Indiana Attorney General. The details trace back to the embalming room of Spring Valley Funeral Home, where state inspectors say they found cremated remains of 15 people who died before 2024 and 6 large containers of medical waste. The current owner, Trevor Little, claims previous owner Anthony Oxendine left those containers.
Why are those still there?
Anthony brought those back from Louisville, saying that they were New Albany cases. So I intend to get those all back to their families instead of count on him to do it.
Those documents also said Oxendine, who does not have an active funeral director's license in Indiana, lives in an apartment above that facility and has full access to the funeral home. But in a phone call on Wednesday, Oxendine told us he no longer lives in the upstairs room and knows nothing about this investigation. Survivors of domestic violence are calling on Kentucky lawmakers to change the emergency protective order process. This comes after that man fatally shot his girlfriend outside a courthouse in Elizabethtown this week. Yesterday, survivors and advocates united with loved ones to remember 37-year-old Erica Riley. She was shot and killed Monday before attending a court hearing for an emergency protective order. Domestic violence advocate Georgia Hensley attended that vigil. She said last year nearly 1,500 protective orders were filed in Kentucky, but more than 600 of them were denied.
And so that we can do better and better and better and make more change. And we're going to take the change on the road and we're going to take it to Frankfurt.
2 other people were shot in that incident Monday, including Riley's mother, who also died. The other victim remains in stable condition. The suspect, 40-year-old Christopher Elder, died a day later in the hospital after shooting himself during an hours-long standoff with police. The Louisville Metro Housing Authority is implementing immediate changes within the city's affordable housing system. This comes months after they found staff had let federal Section 8 guidelines go and even relied on outdated information. Well, that caused delays and a backlog of applications. Changes include new leadership appointments, including a director specifically for Section 8. LMHA also says the entire housing voucher team was reorganized and they've implemented new technology to keep things in order. The Housing Authority is still working closely with the Housing and Urban Development to fix these problems. Rinse and repeat here on this afternoon at 12:03. Taking a look at the Louisville skyline, nothing but blue skies today, Sam.
Isn't it nice, Brooke? Every single day it's been incredible.
I love today. I love tomorrow, and then it looks like things are going to be on the rise.
Yeah, it's going to get a little steamy outside, especially into the weekend. We're going to be seeing 90-degree temperatures back into the forecast. It's just that time of the year in mid-August. We can still deal with the summer-type blast of heat, but so far this afternoon, it does not feel like summertime across the board. It feels like early fall. 73 right now at Bardstown, 73 in Fort Knox. Here in Louisville, we're a touch warmer than a lot of our friends outside the city, and we do have that east to northeasterly wind flow, keeping our temperatures basically staying just below normal for this time of the year. We're going to be actually peaking today in Louisville of right around 83 degrees. We should be around 88 this time of the year. We're actually going to be, in fact, getting to 88 tomorrow afternoon. So this is that State Fair day-by-day planner, the last 4 days of the fair. Sunday looks looks to be the hottest day, 92 degrees. We're going to be dealing with kind of a drier heat on Saturday if you have plans to go to the fairgrounds. Keep in mind 80-degree temperatures return to, tomorrow as well as today. I'm also tracking, of course, that 90-degree heat into the weekend. In a few more minutes, I'll talk more in detail about the next chance for storms, which will be actually in the wake of this kind of heat that we're going to notice over the weekend. Stick around for that next chance for rainfall.
An 18-pound ham was just sold for a whopping $10.5 million at this year's Country Ham Breakfast at the Kentucky State Fair. The event brings together politicians, farmers, and business leaders to bid on that award-winning ham. Our Jim Stratman shows us the highlights from the morning.
Each year, the ham breakfast emphasizes the importance of Kentucky's farmers, but this year's speakers focused equally as much attention on Kentucky's farmland. Eddie Melton, the president of Kentucky Farm Bureau, said that from 2017 to 2022, Kentucky lost 6,500 farmers and over 500,000 acres of farmland.
Farmers must have their voices here. I'll repeat it again. I think farmers must have their voices heard in this initiative. They must be at the table affecting farmland retention.
That's not the only challenge that agriculture officials like Commissioner Jonathan Schell discussed Thursday morning. But the focus remained on making sure that farming was able to still leave behind a legacy for future generations.
Depending on where you are in the state and what commodity that you deal with is whether or not you've got a big smile on your face this morning or a little smile on your face this morning. In agriculture, what we do is we persevere. We move on for that next generation. We try to attack those challenges every best way that we can.
From our farmland is the reason that our state, we are able to eat, that we're able to thrive, we're able to keep our small family farms, and that's what's important.
Former UN Ambassador Kelly Craft capped off the morning of legacy by making a historic $10.5 million bid for the annual Country Ham auction. She says that money will go to the Boys and Girls Club and to build homes in eastern Kentucky after the floods. This is the fourth consecutive year that the Crafts have bought the ham. The last 3 years, they've done it with Central Bank. This year, they set the record by themselves. Reporting at the State Fair in Louisville, Jim Stratman, WHAS11, on your side.
Thanks so much, Jim. There's a lot going on at the fair today. The Kentucky Farm Bureau is also hosting a gospel music showcase, and rock band Everclear is playing with Marcy Playground. You can check out what else is going on by texting FAIR to the number there on your screen. We'll send our full guide right to your phone.